Welcome to The Good Ride. I'm James Beastie, and I provide a healthy sized tissue for your gear issues. Today, we're talking about the LibTech Terrain Wrecker. It got a little update, so I thought I'd get on it again. I rode this with the Vans Verse and Union Atlas. I only got it at a demo because lately Mervin's had limited resources. It's very hard for me to get boards for extended demo like I used to with them, and they're the only brand that does this, but I made the best of it, went out, got it in some firm but somewhat fair snow, and really just wanted to see what the new personality's like because I got a lot of time on the old Terrain Wrecker. So it was pretty easy to figure out what it was doing in a few runs. When it comes to sizing, this 57 fit me perfectly for how I like to ride. I like control, I like a board that I'm able to ride in all conditions, and this 57 is perfect for me. Didn't feel too small, didn't feel too big, felt just right. Straight up Goldilocks. Now, some things that might make you want to swipe right. This is forgiving. This has very good grip. This is a pretty versatile one-board quiver, especially for those who like to ride switch but want a little more float and powder. Some things that might make you want to swipe left. This is loose, one footing and flat basing. It auto spins on you if you don't have it slightly on edge, and that can be frustrating for some people. Also, the base is slower than most boards at this price point. Let's talk shape. This has a slightly different shape. It's still the same overall specs, side cut, waist width, nose, and tail, but it just got a new, bigger, more directional nose instead of that round nose that kind of came to a slight point before. So it's just a little bit more nose for powder, a little bit more surface area there, but overall, very much the same ride as before. Very centered on side cut, very centered on board feel. When it comes to camber, this is still C2X. The one I had was a little lower to the ground in the tip and tail, but still off the snow. It felt a little more stable than past boards, but boards bend differently board to board. They cure differently. Wood is unpredictable in weight and in camber profile. So what I had might be different than what you get. You might get one that was more like the old ones I had, where the nose and tail are way further up off the snow. So overall, this is a semi-stable kind of ride. It stables up in softer snow. In harder snow, it feels much more loose, auto-spinny. It's not like C3. Some people like this, some people don't, but it's very forgiving. When it comes to edge hold, there's very solid grip. Even though the hard snow makes it feel loose and auto-spinny, once you get it on edge, this grips like a champ and doesn't wash out in hard snow. It's on another level versus most boards out there. If you ride in hard places, you want a forgiving board, this is a great choice. Now, the Flex felt pretty much the same as the old one. Didn't feel anything new, anything different about it. It's very easy to butter. That rocker in the middle preloads your butter, and it's very easy to flex. When it comes to ollie power, you can lean into the camber in the back and get that to spring a little bit. You can pop from the center, engage that rocker, and it'll pop pretty well. Or you can pop off that front camber on the foot and it'll pop pretty well. Overall, personally, I like boards like the Anti-Gravity and the Dynamo and even the LibRig that have that C3 camber, and that just pops easier for me, but I'm used to old camber. I'm an old dude and I've ridden a lot of old camber boards, but at least this still pops pretty well. Mervin always does a good job at making a board that pops. Take this Flex personality and put it in hard, micro bumpy, hard, uneven snow. It does pretty well. It's not the dampest out there, but it's far from being fatiguing or something you don't want to do. Same for soft snow. It's not the best out there and it can buck and bounce a little bit, but overall it's very doable, and this is a good all day, all conditions ride. When it comes to speed, you know, C2X and C2, AKA hybrid rocker, has just never been my kind of board for going straight and going fast. Not that this board is meant to do that. And even if it was C3, I don't think it would do that great, but it would definitely be better, a little more stable at speed. This side cut allows you to go straight, but it's just not the best board for going super fast. The base glide is okay. It's Not at the level you would expect for this price point. It needs to be waxed a lot to get decent glide, but it doesn't have low lows. So if you're somebody who doesn't wax much, it might feel a little dry, a little sticky, but it's not gonna feel as bad as some bases when they get that way. When it comes to turn initiation, I thought this would be a little slower for my size 9 boots with this overall width of board. With a 25/7 waist and 30 in the tip and tail, that's a little wide for me, but it turned no problem. I think this rocker in the middle just helps initiate the turn a little faster because there's just less board you're trying to turn under your foot. When you get it on edge, it's okay. I mean, C2 in C2X hybrid rocker, it's just not the best board for making hard carving turns. You're gonna be much happier with C3 there. This rocker in the middle hurries you up through the turn and speeds you out of it without giving you as much spring as you get from hybrid camber boards, mostly camber boards like C3, or even the lib rig that's C3 with a little bit of early rise before the nose and tail. That does better there too, but it's not bad. If you lean back into the camber, into the tail, and really engage that there, or lean really hard into the front foot and engage the camber there, it's gonna do a little bit better. Or you could bring your legs out really wide and press the whole board down. You could get this to spring a little bit better, but overall you're gonna have a better time with C3. It's still a fun board to turn though, and it has this great turny feel that you wouldn't expect by looking at the side cut of 8.3 for the 57. That's a very balanced side cut, but it feels more on the turny side of balanced. In powder, I didn't get the new one in powder, but I got the old one in a wide variety of powder. I thought this floated very well for a directional board without any taper. There's a decent amount of setback on board, but not a lot. I think this new shovel nose will do a little bit better than the old round, slightly pointed nose. So you might get a touch better float in powder. Overall, it's not gonna blow minds. It's not gonna give you a free ride board feel, but it's gonna give you a little taste of that. It's gonna float pretty well for an all mountain board. When it comes to switch riding, this feels really centered between the feet when you're centered on board. I really like this feel. It rides switch really well. You don't feel that bigger nose as much as you would think versus that smaller tail. This is a board you can jib with. This is a board you can ride the pipe with because it has good grip there. It's not amazing. I'd prefer like something like the Dynamo a lot better because I'm not land and switch and all that shit, or even the RCC3 or the TRS, but this is pretty good. It's gonna be fine for most kickers. I don't think you wanna go super big with this, but good enough. And overall, I think that new tweak to the Terrain Wrecker's nose is a nice improvement. And I think overall, it's still very much like the old ride with just maybe a touch more directional float and a new look just to mix things up.